Coming Up Roses, the Bachelor podcast. Big first night. We're getting a little bit of a late start tonight. We're supposed to start at 7 on the dot. Our boy, Big Daddy Trent, I'm picturing just like Buddy the Elf just trying to get around New York City, and it's just not happening. So, Trent, glad you could finally.
Yeah, I'm lucky I'm here. It was like a cliche disaster, me taking the subway from the Barstool office to my apartment. This morning was fine because I live with Coley. Guys who know who Coley is. He basically held my hand and walked me to the subway to Manhattan. So he showed me how to get there. And then we had coordinated about going home. Our schedules got a little mixed up. So I was like, I'll just go by myself. That'll be fine. It was not fine. I did not do all that well. I left the office because I think I'm an adult. Like, I have an adult brain, and I think it should be able to, like, follow easy directions that, like, get on this train, get on that train. Didn't really work that way. I got on a train that –
Didn't really work that way.
It didn't. It truly did not. I thought I was going to Brooklyn. A guy even asked me, which, I mean, he doesn't know who I am, so it's like, let's just ask this guy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah. He's like, is this train going to Brooklyn? I said, yeah, it's going to Brooklyn because the sign said it was going to Brooklyn. We both hop on, immediately realize that it is going away from Brooklyn.
Oh, my God.
We're on the 3 train, so we're going the wrong way. See, this is the thing. I don't even totally know where my mistake was, but you're going on the 3 train, and you're going, like, away from Brooklyn, and then you got to come back down. So we just wanted to go down. So we had to hop off the train, get on the 2 train, and that sends you back down to Brooklyn. So I'm like, okay, this is right. And I'm just like following this person that I just met who I gave wrong directions to. He's a nice guy. He's like a young guy. So we get on the 2 train and we're going down. I don't see my stops on there. He's like, do you know where you're going? I say yes because I don't really want to be with this person anymore. Because
you're like, yeah.
It's like the blind leading the blind. So I just like want to separate and kind of do my own thing. He gets off at his stop, and so I'm like, okay, I'm on this train. Or no, before that, we go from the 2 train to the L because that's what he said to do, and I just followed him like an idiot. And so we get on that, and I see that my stop is nowhere on any of the L stops. So now I'm just in a train by myself, not know where I am, and so I basically just take the L until it gets into Brooklyn. Like, I just want to get
What stop are you trying to get to?
It's a great question.
Like, don't tell me. Like, you don't have to like give me your address, but like, it really just sounds like you fucked this up. Like, so like really bad. Like, just not even close.
No, not even close. Yeah. So I just like went until I was in Brooklyn on the L. I was like, "Am I on Brooklyn?" And I was like, "All right, I'm definitely in Brooklyn."
Am I on Brooklyn? Am I on Brooklyn?
So
Probably.
I end up just like taking a couple stops into Brooklyn, getting off the L, and I just called an Uber, and it came and got me and took me.
Oh no!
So, isn't Brooklyn like technically the second biggest city in the world? So it's like all I have to do is just get into Brooklyn, or to get onto Brooklyn. It's just traveling some,
get on.
Then I'll be good. Just get into the second biggest city in the world, and then I'll be good.
It was like I told Chief before we got started. As I was tweeting those things, I was like, "This is what people think. I'm probably gonna be making this up. Like I'm trying to be too much of an Iowan, but that was completely genuine. I completely fucked it up."
Yeah,
Trent. I mean, I think that there are. So I think that in total, I haven't counted in a long time, but I think that there's like 13 trains. And I think at least 10 of them go directly into Brooklyn. Like if you're going south or east. Like there's only 2 ways you can go, and I'm pretty sure 10 of them end up somewhere in Brooklyn. Like it's really not. Not that hard.
all I want to do is go to Brooklyn. And it's the sign said this goes to Brooklyn, but then it doesn't tell you that it goes all the way up Manhattan, and then you got to go back down Manhattan, right?
I need to know, like, I'm just telling you, you're on the wrong. Maybe you got on the wrong side. You know, you can go on like, you know how there are both tracks, one on each side, and they're each going a different way. Maybe that's where you got turned around.
It had to be because when me and my stranger friend got off.
Did you guys exchange numbers? Like, are you going to hang out or what?
He was like a young guy. We like high-fived and stuff. But like, I got off and they got on the train going the other way. So it was definitely a situation where I got on the wrong side.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it sounds like.
Well,
was a disaster.
which is forgivable, but like, yeah, they all go there. Like you could have gone on any of them and then gotten out and
It was
done,
definitely
and then got an Uber like you did.
It was definitely the stranger that I met who realized we were going the wrong way. Like I would have just kept going. I would have gone all the way
Oh
up.
my God.
I wouldn't have gotten home till like tomorrow morning.
So bad.
Trent, I feel like they did you a disservice by going from Cedar Rapids to New York. They should have had you like last year move to Chicago, and then like you could transition to a bigger city like that. And I gotta say, I do kind of understand what Trent's saying. I was in Manhattan last April, and I went to the Islanders game, so I took the train to Brooklyn too. And Trent, I had like a guide that was actually Barcelona JJ's friend, and he like basically held my hand through New York public transit. And so
Oh my God.
it wasn't like I found my way back all right, so I think I could navigate it now. But I think I would have been in the same boat had I just said like, take me to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Just throw me there.
I thought it would be so easy, and it probably is so easy. But I took the hardest route possible.
Yeah.
On Brooklyn. Well, at least you made it on Brooklyn.
Made it on
I'm
Brooklyn.
proud of you for making it on
I'm
too.
currently on Brooklyn, and,
Yeah.
I'm here, and I'm alive, and it's all good.
And this is your first week, right? I mean,
This was my first day commuting today.
okay. So it was bound to happen.
Yeah, you took an Uber yesterday, right? Like you took an Uber home yesterday, I guess.
I Ubered to the office last night, and I Ubered back. 'Cause I
That'll
didn't wanna-
kill you. That kills me. That's why I'm so fucking broke all the time. I'll be like, oh, the subway's so easy. I know everything about it. And then I'll have to walk more than like 10 feet. I'm like, I'll just take a little cab or a little Uber. And then that's
Definitely.
why I eat peanut butter and jelly for dinner all the time.
It definitely was not cheap, but I was like, I'm just gonna do this, and then tomorrow I will be led both ways. And then there was a miscommunication, and I got super lost.
Yeah. Don't need Big Cat. Big Cat offered to hold your hand.
He was
Yeah.
so nice. Like he was like, "Hey, where are you going?" I was like, "I gotta go this way." He's like, "You know where we're going?" I'm like, maybe."
He's probably like, that guy's going the wrong fucking way. Because Big Cat lives in Brooklyn too. So
That's so funny. He probably saw you on the platform. He's like, I should tell him, but I'm gonna let him make a mistake.
It's
Yeah.
I'm
almost
gonna let him make a mistake.
It's almost like I was waiting for something like this to happen. I was waiting to get mugged, or I was waiting to like go the wrong way in the subway and just completely turn myself around. So I feel it's like
Whatever. At least you got it out of the way. You got it out of the way. Now you know.
I feel good. I feel
Yeah.
good about it, kind of.
I think it's good.
Well, you'll probably never
I
make
think
that
it was a
mistake
good.
again.
I think it was a good learning experience for you.
I agree. I
think you're stronger. I think you're stronger now.
Let's
You
talk
look
about
it.
The Bachelor.
Let's do it. The New York transit part of the podcast is over. We're glad Trent finally got back. But yeah, last night, opening night of The Bachelor. Well, maybe first we should just talk about this post show because we got like a million tweets about that too, and what this podcast is, and so basically, this like the writing was on the wall for this as soon as Iowa beat Michigan and Trent was going to New York. So we knew that there had been talks about doing a Bachelor post show for a long time. It just never worked out because Trent was in Iowa, Prez was wherever. So once Trent was going to New York, we all kind of knew that was going to happen, and that Dave would be involved. And it's Dave's show, so Dave's more than he's in the right to do that, and obviously Trent and Kelly are too. So there's no like bad blood about this. We're still doing the podcast, and it's going to take on a different vibe because it's not going to be the Dave Portnoy show. It's going to be the three of us, so it'll have a little bit different ebb and flow. And yeah, I think we all still feel pretty good about it. I don't think it's going to be that much overkill. And there's 10 zillion podcasts on The Bachelor, so I think there's probably enough room for two shows like that on this Barstool platform. And we'll see how it goes. So we may make adjustments on the fly, but for right now, we're going to continue as we have in the past and see how it goes. Do you guys have anything else to add to that? I mean,
yeah, I think just also what we were saying before, the fact that we've been doing this for a while now. You guys obviously know a lot more background about it. I have been watching it for my whole fucking life, or so it feels. So I feel like ours will be more for people, for like the Bachelor audience versus the like Barstool Bachelor audience.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I think that it's also too like, there's a lot of shit I wanted to say yesterday that was like, oh, I had to reference, 8 seasons ago and I couldn't. Like all I wanted to do was talk about like the slut Courtney and Vineyard Ben and how she fucked him in the ocean and how one of the girls like looks just like her. And it's like, I wanted to say it like 15 times. I was like, nobody will know.
Let's do that right now because Courtney Roberson is my number one Bachelor chick of all time.
New Whitney looks just fucking like her. They look exactly alike to me.
Okay. I think you're on to something. It didn't occur to me. I think Whitney looks like sweeter and kinder.
Oh yeah. Well, she hasn't said, she said 0 words so far. She hasn't said anything yet.
And maybe I'm just assuming she's Minnesota nice. Courtney Roberson was the baddest bitch of all time. That's the whole reason I started watching The Bachelor. It was because that girl, she systematically destroyed 24 other girls in that house, left them. It was a trail of tears to the limo to the airport. So
absolutely.
If you're calling Whitney and saying that, I guess maybe she does kind of look like her. I see what you're saying. I hope we get another villain like that. I've been waiting for another Courtney Roberson. We still haven't. Is it Roberson or Robertson? I guess I should know her name.
I think it's Robeson. I don't think there's an R. I forget. Okay. I always just call her Courtney. I call her Courtney R all the time.
I can't remember anybody's name. Like I had to like go back and be like, when we were preparing for this podcast, like I can't remember anyone, and it was 12 hours or 24 hours ago.
Yeah,
I'll never forget Courtney from Bed Season. I will never forget her. She was incredible.
You can't forget her.
So that's interesting about Whitney. What do we think about Ben and his intro? Trent, what did you have?
Wait, Ben or Nick?
I'm sorry, Nick. Nick.
Also the super gay bro fest of Ben and Chris.
Yeah.
All of them. That was just so forced. I knew
they did that for the girls, or I don't know when they started doing it, but they would have like the little like conference with 3 past bachelorettes. I don't know when they started doing it with the Bachelor, but it was pretty awkward between those 3 with Souls, Higgins, and Lowe. It's so forced. Like if they were giving decent advice, but they were just like ribbing him about it, like being his 4th time and shit like that. So it was very forced. But what do I think about Nick? I didn't like him after the Kaitlyn season. I thought he was the villain. I thought they painted him that way, and I hated him. Liked him more on Bachelor in Paradise. But after last night, I hope he's going to have enough steam to get through all of it. Like, I'm not sure he's the most interesting guy in the world.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
About that, the round table that they had with the former Bachelors, the only thought that it kind of made me laugh was that was when Sean, the blonde guy, was like, people fucking hate you. And he's like, nah, like.
Sean Lowe is like a dick. I said that. I was like, wow, Sean Lowe's being sort of an asshole. Like he was like, yeah, whatever. Like you've been on here like a lot of times, and was like not joking about it. I was like, first of all, Sean Lowe, you literally never go home. You've been around for like you are on every single thing that has anything to do with anything. Not even The Bachelor anymore. He's like jumped to all this other shit.
I think he's trying to be like the next Chris Harrison. He's just I'm just going to do this forever.
Yeah, he never goes home.
Yeah, and then Nick came back with like, no, Bachelor in Paradise. Like I kind of changed my image, and he's like, no, people fucking hate you.
Yeah,
nobody watches that show.
No,
most of America hates your guts. So that kind of made me laugh, and that it just kind of like I felt like they kind of tried to make him into like a puppy dog on that whole thing. He's talking with his sister, who's like 11 or something, or 14 or something, some young sister.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like I can't make eye contact and I'm awkward and I mumble. It's like, yeah, that's why it's called boring. That's why nobody wanted you on this show.
Yeah, I love that too. Like the sister roast, like just straight up, like don't mumble like when you're awkward. It's like, what the fuck, you bitch? Like you're 14. Yeah. Like what advice do you have?
Yeah.
That was really funny.
That was funny. And then just like his biggest fear being like, oh, I don't want to be brokenhearted again. You have to be like the worst person in the world to fuck this up somehow. There are 30 girls who are like just trying, like actively trying to marry you. And you're like, oh, I hope I don't get rejected again. If you get rejected, then.
And also the pity card, like it doesn't totally resonate with me because of the way that he left that stuff with Jen on Bachelor in Paradise. They they smooth it over like, oh, he's been screwed over this many times when like the last one was clearly he was like, my foot's kind of out the door when it seemed like he might get the Bachelor thing. So that doesn't totally play with me, but that's how ABC is spinning it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, so actually, I have a really quick story that I found out today, and when I went to work. So one of my coworkers, who's 32, her like friends a year ago signed her up for The Bachelor, like as a joke. She's like a big Bachelor fan. Like they thought it'd be funny, like that she'd never get a call or whatever. And then a year later, during Bachelor in Paradise, one of the Bachelor people called her. Because she's 32, she's like a short brunette, she's like super pretty, really smart, like whatever. And so calls her and is like, hey, this is so and so from Bachelor casting. Like, would you be interested in like having a conversation with me and like sending me pictures and blah, blah, blah. So she entertained it for like a phone call. And then the woman was like, all right, now you have to send 20 photos and a video of yourself, like all this shit. And my coworker was like, that's a lot. Like, okay, like I'll send it like when I can. She's like, I need it by the weekend. And she's like, oh, like whatever. And then so she didn't send it on time. So then the woman emailed her again and was like, actually, it's fine. Just come to this like open casting call thing in New York, fill out this application and bring it. And then just meet me in person and then I'll get to meet you. And then she was just like, oh, like, yeah, maybe. And then she ended up not going. Like she never went. And this woman like called her a bunch of times. And she just blew it off every time. She was like, why is this lady like fucking stalking me? Like, it's so weird. And then, because that's when everybody still thought it was going to be Luke.
Okay.
And then they announced it was going to be Nick. And she was like, oh, well, fucking duh. I'm about to be the next like Michelle Money or whatever. She's 32.
Yeah.
And he's 36, right? Or 35 or 36? I forget.
36, I think.
36,
right?
Yeah. She would have been like the oldest one there, exactly his type, like body wise, image wise. And she's like a normal bitch. She's like a salesperson, for. Yeah. Whatever. So I thought that was so weird. They were like just trying to find bitches for this season specifically like that. I thought that was a really weird thing.
Especially since it doesn't seem like they found anyone like that. Everyone is like 24 to 26.
Exactly.
The oldest one is like 31, but there's maybe two girls in their 30s, and then everyone else is much younger than Nick.
Right, they're all at least 10 years younger, and and that's like, what are you gonna do? So that's why I said to her, I was like, that, and she's obviously watching right now, and she's like, I'm kind of pissed because Nick's super hot, and I was like, yeah, but he's a psychopath. Like he also like no one actually likes him, and you would have hated him. And she's like, yeah, probably. But then she's like, I literally would have been like Michelle Money or whatever her name is. Yeah. I think it's Michelle Money. Yeah.
Nick also looks like a different person. So when they were doing like
I said that same thing. Keep going.
Yeah. When they showed him like the highlights from the previous seasons, I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck that guy is. Like he had a little bit of baby fat on him, or maybe it was just he didn't have a beard. He looks like a completely different guy. So there's no way this Nick with a beard loses to Aaron Murray, beard Nick, or loses to Sean Booth. If he has a beard back then, he's probably already off of this show and divorced or whatever. But there's no way that he loses with this current look he's got going. I kind of liked how the when the girls got out of the limo, it turned into the Nick roast. They all like had like little.
Oh yeah, they all were like, "You suck." Yeah. I heard you like a lot of sex, so like here I am. Like all of them, this had to be the worst, absolutely the worst crop of like intro lines I've ever seen. Like they were all bad.
It was terrible. I'm trying to think if there was like the one girl's like, I heard you like to hump. Like, yup, we're probably gonna hump in the ocean. With the
for sure.
With the camel. Trent, any of those?
There was the underwear line. I liked the girl who said, "What does a girl who wears underwear say?" And he said, "I don't know," and she said, "I don't know either." It was pretty good.
Yeah, Haley. It's Haley. I've been talking shit about her all day, literally.
Got my attention for sure. What do you have to say about Haley?
I just have been talking shit about. I thought that line was like talking such a big game, and then she came in and was like crying about almost not getting picked. I was like, you came in and acted like such a badass bitch. Now you're about to start crying because he like didn't pick you, and you might have to give Left Shark a hug. Like, I mean, that's. Then she was like, I'm not gonna do that. Blah blah blah. I was like, you should have more confidence in yourself than that. If you're gonna come in being like, I'm not wearing underwear right to your face on national TV, like you should have a little more confidence.
I agree. I love how they only have the two blonde girls, and they're both like the biggest sluts ever. So
of course they are. Like
the girl being like, I'm not wearing any underwear. She's got like the little shoulder tattoo heart thing, which is kind of
And
It
then,
is.
then
A
there's,
sign. Yeah.
then there's Corinne.
Corinne. Trent, what do you got on
I
your
think they're
Corinne?
they're definitely gonna edit her as like the villain of the season. I think I like her. I can't decide if she's good looking or not. She's definitely, I think she's hot at some points, and other times I don't think so. But she is gonna be the one. She's gonna be like the aggressor, the one who goes after Nick, all that shit. So I think I like her at least for like fodder on podcasts and Twitter.
Absolutely. Her little intro thing was insane. So
Yes.
I don't know. How old is she? 24, 25?
She's 24.
24, yeah. Younger than me. I remember hearing that and being like, I'm gonna kill myself.
She basically is raised still by her nanny. She's got some like Cuban or Latina nanny who takes care of her as an adult child. And then
But she claimed to be her assistant for a second. Remember, she like said like my assistant, and I was like, that's a 50-year-old woman. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck?
someone who brings you smoothies and does your laundry is not your assistant.
No, like,
As,
that's
and she's
just
trying
a babysitter. That's just a babysitter.
right. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm running my dad's retiring." Like she's like basically tried to like kill her dad off in that like 30-second intro. And she's like running her dad's multi-million-dollar company down in Miami. And it seemed like she was trying to be like Ivanka Trump, but just a trash bag.
They definitely did like the weird, like they do all of the weird shots of the girls, but there was the one where she was like definitely typing nonsense on a computer, and it's like, what are you typing there? Turn that screen around and show us.
Yeah,
it was completely fake.
Yeah, that was really bad. Also, I thought
I don't know if she knows it's fake though. Like her dad came in and was like, "You have to contact this guy by tomorrow morning." It's probably like a fake email that her dad's like, "Let her play pretend that she's running this multi-million-dollar company."
Yeah,
she could just live at home with the nanny.
With the nanny. She what else I think is fun. I'm pretty sure all three of us called her as being a total slut based on her intro photo. Remember, we were like, her shirt's like super low cut and like weirdly see-through, and I think her nipples are out. Like we were like said that on the first episode, I'm pretty sure. And we nailed on the head with that. So I was proud of us for that.
Yeah, and it sounds like she's only gonna get sluttier.
Yeah, which I'm pumped about. I can't wait.
Yeah, that preview for last week, she looks like she basically takes Nick into a room, like feeds him wine, and then closes the door and like has sex with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think she roofied him. Like I think like she was like, "Hey, I'm coming into your room. I'm gonna have sex with you. I have a platinum vagina. Drink this." And I don't remember Kelly. I feel like there's a wicked echo on this, but
there's a little bit of an echo. I can hear.
I can't hear anything. That's so weird. But continue. It's okay.
How's that?
Now you're just harder to hear. Wait, talk again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just hard to hear.
Oh yeah, I just have to like turn you up a little bit, I guess.
But is there an echo?
No.
Okay.
No.
Maybe we'll just go without headphones. Can you guys just I'll turn your volume
I can turn you up, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, turn up. Try and let me know if I'm like blowing out your eardrums.
No, I was just gonna say the same to you if I was.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you were saying shed some light, Corinne, blah blah blah, to echo you on something.
Yeah. Okay. So then, like, she also had like for her pickup line or her limo line. She's like, "Oh, here's a token for a hug." And then when she had him on the couch later, it was like, "Here's a whole bag of tokens, and you can cash these in for whatever you want." So it was oh baby.
She's like, "I'm gonna introduce you with this token for a hug, and then I'm gonna give you a whole bag of tokens, so we can have a lot of sex after I roofie you." Like that's like what that was for. Like, I'm gonna pay you to roofie you.
Which that plays. I mean, that she definitely sounds like a slut, but that plays right into what Nick loves. Like he's gonna eat that up and definitely like fuck her probably next week, and he's gonna be.
Yeah, it looks like it.
She's gonna like at least be in the final four, if not further.
I wonder if they'll just let them keep fucking every week, and the other girls are like, "Oh my god, they're fretting about a rose," and then she just is like coming out and like she just doing like the walk of shame to the rose ceremony, like that. Like that's what
I would love that. I would love that so much. I'm wondering though. I'm wondering if he'll be like, "I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and really find love, so like we can't do this anymore." I mean, they're definitely gonna have sex for sure, at least once. But I'm wondering if after that he'll like send her home. Like, wouldn't that even kind of be better? Like, I know we had sex, but like, I'm sending you home because I'm turning over a new leaf. And then she can like cry about it and be like, Nick's such an asshole. Like, he used me for sex. And then she'll go on her press junket about how she was used for sex on The Bachelor.
That's my going straight to Bachelor in Paradise. Like,
100%. Yeah. She's already there. Like, she's already setting up her room there.
She is already there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's this other girl, Elizabeth, parentheses or whatever, Liz, who he's already had sex with at Jaden Tanner's wedding. So I feel like he's already had sex with like half of these girls.
I know. It's like, how do you choose when you've already had sex with half of them? I don't get it.
Her line about wanting Nick to not remember was.
It makes it more mysterious. She's like, it makes it more mysterious almost. I was like, no, it doesn't. It means that you sucked at sex and he is an asshole. Like, that's what that means. What?
How about she like wouldn't give him her number though? So maybe he sucked.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Actually. Yeah. You're right.
I feel like
I take it back. She's probably good and he sucks.
These two might just be like made for each other. That they're just like two assholes who I don't like. Actually, I mean, I picked Liz as like my winner, but I don't think she's.
You loved her. Yeah, you loved her for a minute, and then she sucked. But then
she has huge shoulders, as we talked about.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how that's gonna play. It's like you said, Kelly. It's either gonna be he's gonna keep them around and they're gonna be like in the final four, or he's gonna bounce them because he just has sex with them and doesn't like them anymore.
Yeah.
Been there,
and wants to like look good in front of the other girls and stuff, like, because the other girls are going to start to get pissed. And like, this is another like sort of secret hope of mine, is that the other girls will start to get pissed and dropping off because they don't want to, like, they thought they liked him, but he's not the person that they thought he was. So like, blah, 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 because they like won't like the fact that he's having sex with Corinne in the pool because she's taking her top off, you know?
We had said last year that it would be super funny if like all the girls just like pulled the ripcord on Ben H because he was such a softie. Yeah. It would be even better if all the girls pulled the ripcord on Nick because he's like such a horn dog loser.
I would love that. I would love that so much. Now that's what I want. I changed my mind. I want that to happen. That's exactly what I want.
We do have the video. It was in like the trailer for the next season or for the next episode. Josephine straight up slapping him in the face.
Oh yeah.
So we might get some of that. Although Josephine is by far the craziest one in that house.
Definitely.
I think that's right. She's the one who did the hot dog thing in her entrance. She just gives off the crazy vibe. We should say, because we big time ripped into her in the preview, that she was super ugly. She looks way better in like person on camera. So sorry, Josephine, but she is definitely the craziest one. And I can't wait to see what like brings about that slap.
Yeah, I think that she also, I thought was so funny. Somebody tweeted at me after I had been like, you know, shocking. I fucking hate Josephine. After she was talking, it was so annoying. It was the still photo of Isla Fisher from Wedding Crashers, and she's like, "I'll find you," and it was like her like exact crazy face. I was like, that is exactly her. That's what's gonna happen, and I can't wait to watch all that on camera. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. Like, she does look less ugly. I still don't think she's probably ranked 30th out of 30 though. Like, she's not as
that Jamie girl is material.
Jamie falls in the face. Yeah. Jamie, Rachel Dolezal.
She was so bad. Rachel Dolezal, yeah. Also though, that's 100% her. Also though, how sneaky on her behalf to not have that fucking nose ring in her photo. I would have like counted her out like faster than you could even like say the word bachelor. I would never in a million years think that she would make it anywhere. She didn't even have it in her picture at all. She looked way nicer, way different. I was like, maybe she's just like a sort of maybe ambiguously black girl with like weird hair. She had a fucking bull ring in her face.
You could put that bull ring in Vanessa's face, in Danielle L's face, or Whitney, those hot girls' faces, and I would be completely out. That thing freaks me out.
Yeah, it was not. No way.
Excuse me. I think Whitney could wear it. I think Whitney.
True. Yeah, I actually agree.
She's like a little bit. She just gives me a little bit like that yoga festival girl vibe. And
she's hot as shit. Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, and that was low key. Like like probably because I'm just not attracted to her, it didn't like click in my brain right away. Easily the sluttiest line any of them said, like, I'm gonna put balls on my face. Like, here we go.
She did say that. I didn't even realize she said that until I looked at it again. I like watched a clip of it today because I was like, again, how the fuck did this ugly ass girl? And I was like, oh my fucking god,
Yeah.
it's too much. It's too much.
Trent, you mentioned Danielle L. Is she in your top three? What do you have about her? She owns the shops, that Danielle.
I mean, this is the one who I think did she walk out of the limo first? She's the one with like the cut dress, boobs are pretty much everywhere. It's almost like she's so much better looking than like 95% of the other girls that I think she's gonna go pretty far. I don't even know if she's that interesting. I don't remember him talking to her that much, but even he was like, she's so hot that she's got to move on. So she's definitely one of my favorites going forward.
Me too. Her tits are so fake. So we have a JoJo.
Oh boy! Here
So fake.
So
that's
it's
you,
so
Trent.
fake.
Trent, are there? I have a serious question. Are there fake boobs in Iowa? Like, you can never fucking figure it out. Like, why can't you figure that out?
First of all, yes, there are definitely fake boobs in Iowa, and two, now that I think back, like those boobs were too like still when she was walking. So I'll concede that Danielle L has fake boobs.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I liked her a lot too. She's kind of like, speaking of fake boobs, she reminds me of like a JoJo and Andy, like a mashup. Like if you combine them, I think you'd get a girl that looks
little bit
like Danielle.
I'm so convinced that she's some kind of Asian, like Hawaiian or something.
Is that just because she owns nail salons?
No. I swear to God, it's not. She just like looks at. I thought it right in the beginning. Remember? I was like, oh, she's like Asian. You guys are like, no, she's not. I was like, why do I think that? I wanted to talk about it, just like what's her face? I don't know if this works with like a segue, but that girl Taylor, who I thought
she was an Indian.
I thought she was from India also. She's half white, half black, and then told her sob story about how she didn't fit in with the white girls and she also didn't fit in with the black girls.
Yeah,
that was her.
That was her thing. No one loves her because she's half.
Yeah, because she's half and half. Also, which is the biggest fucking lie. All I want to do is be half, so I can have a permanent tan and never age. Why the fuck would you ever? literally makes no sense.
I'm
get out of my face with that, Taylor.
So scared to say like anything about this girl because I don't know.
Trent, you're in New York now. You can.
True, it's true.
You can say whatever you want.
No, I thought Taylor was like one of the better looking ones too. If we're being honest,
pretty.
I thought she was too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really. Was she all that interesting? I can't remember anything about her though. Her and Danielle L. I don't remember them saying anything interesting.
Neither of them were very interesting. They were both kind of boring. I mean, like Taylor is smart. I think is right. She's like another lawyer, some sort of lawyer, something. Maybe I'm making.
No, I think that was the first impression girl.
Rachel. I know that Rachel is for sure is a lawyer. Rachel's definitely a lawyer, but I think that Taylor is some sort of like something smart also.
By the way,
she's like a scientist or something weird.
By the way, they definitely made a point to like change the occupation thing for this season because I remember for the Bachelorette, it was like Daniel was a Canadian. That one weird looking was a hipster. But now this one is all like powerful women, like nurses, doctors, lawyers, which I don't have a problem with. It's just interesting how they like change it for each season.
Yeah, it's like very noticeable.
Or like Corinne,
definitely noticeable with the noticeable exception of the shark girl who,
right, of course,
just like a Jersey Shore girl who was in a shark costume the whole time. Telling people it was a dolphin. It was almost like a George Costanza thing. Like everyone asked about it. She's like, no, the fucking shark. Like, don't tell me. Or no, it's a dolphin. Don't tell me it's a shark.
There was remember last Bachelorette, there was a guy who showed up in like a Santa costume and just like rocked that the whole time too.
Yeah.
You just gotta own it.
He made it pretty far too.
Yeah, you just gotta own it, I think.
Wasn't that his name was also Nick, for real. He made it to like top 5, I'm claiming.
Pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure he was top 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who are your other favorites? Kelly, who did you have beside that we haven't talked about yet?
So my favorite, I said on the preview show, and I still like her after seeing her yesterday, was Danielle M, the blonde neonatal nurse, the one that who's like, I was like, she sounds the most normal. She's like the most whatever. The only thing I think is working against her probably is the fact that she seemed kind of quiet. Like she came across a little quiet. I liked her little intro. It was cute. You know how I always fucking hate those intros, but I thought that her intro with like the maple syrup thing was kind of cute. Just
Kind
like
of
cutesy.
sexual too.
Yeah, a little sexual. I was shocked by her being a little bit sexual, but it was still kind of cutesy. And so I'm nervous that she might not be like slutty enough for Nick, because now he's trying to paint this reputation where he's just like fucks chicks all the time. So I think maybe neonatal nurse isn't enough for him now. He might go for Corinne business owner, but I still really like her.
Or it goes the other way, like you said. He's already fucked Corinne, probably. He already fucked Liz. He wants a girl like Danielle M, who's like more innocent and makes him look like a nice guy.
True. That's another really good point. What I want to point out too is that I don't know if you guys saw, I was looking at Instagrams of it all day long. Speaking of like how Nick's had sex with all the girls, him having to do that Jimmy Kimmel after show, sitting on the same couch as Caitlin Bristow and Andy Dorfman. Holy shit!
I didn't know that.
I couldn't. Oh my god! Yeah, it was on like at the same time we were doing the live thing. And it was on the screens in front of us while it was happening. And I almost was like, let's fucking turn this off and watch Jimmy Kimmel, because I need to know what's going on that fucking couch, because it is Nick in the middle of Andy and Caitlin. And I was like, this is like, what are they saying? And I kept trying to find clips of it today and they didn't put it up yet. But I was like dying to know how awkward that must have been. Like, and I also think Caitlin was hammered. Like every like movement of hers, like photo of her, she's like laughing so hard. I think that she's like drunk. Like, and then
sounds about right.
Yeah, and Andy posted an Instagram of her and Caitlin like chugging wine out of the bottle, like in the green room in the back. I was like, oh great, there it is.
Yeah, that was definitely pretty awkward. I thought Andy looked dynamite.
Yeah, I thought they both looked incredible. I thought they both looked really good.
I never really liked either one of them. To the point that I don't think I watched their seasons, which is why I don't like Nick. Like, if I don't find The Bachelorette attractive, then I'm like out.
You remember?
Yeah.
You remember when Caitlyn was The Bachelorette? It was between Brittany and Caitlyn, and the guys like voted. It was very weird. I remember Chief was big on Brittany, and when it was Caitlyn, he bailed on the season.
Yeah, Brittany.
Yeah, that was weird.
All kinds of feelings. So.
I think I also voted for Brittany too. Brittany, she was like. But she was nuts, though. Like, she was
insane. She was insane.
Yeah.
But you just know that Nick, with that Kimmel thing with Caitlyn and Andy, you know Nick was like, I love this. I love being around two girls that I slept with, and everybody knows that I slept with them. Yeah. I bet he loved that shit.
100%, for sure.
You have any favorites, Chief?
Yeah, Vanessa. I think Vanessa was the special ed teacher who speaks French and Italian, and she's like
she's
the most impressive, like on paper for sure.
Definitely. And then was she wearing like the black and white dress last night?
Yeah, the black and white dress, the black and white stripes in the front. What I thought about her too is that she looked really pretty in her thing, but I feel like we didn't comment on her much. Like, I feel like we didn't really say much about her. She didn't totally stand out to me right away, but I could tell the second she got out of the limo and they filmed her entire walk, like basically in slow motion up to Nick. I was like, well, this bitch is winning. I was like, this is the winner.
I mean, like, she should win.
Yeah, I mean, she was great, and then she killed it. Like every other minute, she was great, and then she was already painted as like what's her face stole Nick away from her once, and she was like, oh, okay, and like kind of like being, just being nice. Yeah. And then she was like getting along with the girls. She wasn't like and she wasn't wearing like a totally slutty dress. She didn't do anything crazy. So I think that they're definitely gonna like focus a lot on her.
She's an angel. This is one of those girls, and I think we might have even said it in the preview show. Like, this is the type of girl that I don't understand why she's on this show.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, why is she available at all?
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying there's something like that means there's something wrong with her. There's some side to her that's crazy. But then I just don't fundamentally understand why a girl like Vanessa has to go on a show like this to get with like an asshole like Nick.
Yeah, no way.
I was actively rooting for her to lose because Nick doesn't deserve that girl. Like Nick sucks. He can't get a Vanessa. That would throw the universe out of whack.
Totally.
I think it'd be great if he chose Vanessa and then she dumped him. That would be great. I would like that to happen.
That would be
That would be
fantastic.
great. She was just like, nah, I can't do it. That would be great.
And then she's the Bachelorette. Maybe that's the move all along. Did we just call the new Bachelorette literally after day one? I think we did.
I think that's it. I mean,
I
she
think
could
it's
be
gotta
the
be.
Bachelorette.
I think you're
Is
right,
she?
actually.
Trying to think. Anything else that we want to cover? I mean, is there any other girl? I mean, we went over Corinne. I feel like
trying to think.
Corinne is going to make the headlines, and then she goes to like the top 5, and then he picks like a real girl.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think that's definitely gonna be something. As far as the other girls though, I like how they really did like, typical Bachelor fashion. They only showed a couple of the super like lame intro videos, and then they just like just ran through a bunch of people coming out of the limo. Like they didn't even show everybody coming out of the limo this time around. I
Right.
feel like they usually do. They usually, at least if they don't give them a video, they'll show them coming out of the limo, and then you at least see them all say hi. But this
Right.
time around, they didn't even show every single girl. And I was like, that's completely shocking to me. And if I had come all the way there and been involved or whatever, and I didn't even get picked and didn't even get fucking shown saying hi to the Bachelor, I'd lose my goddamn mind. Like that would be the end
quit
of it.
my job for this shit.
Yeah, like I'd be so mad. Like so those bitches, it's just getting like more and more competitive for airtime because it's so obvious now that every bitch comes on here like faking to find love and then writes a book afterwards. Like that's all they do.
We talked a little bit about this last night, but I'd like your Chief's opinion. What did you think when the first impression rose went to Rachel, who is a black girl?
I thought it was like a cover for, and I tweeted this too, that now he can just cut all the black girls because he gave the first impression rose to a black girl. That gives him freedom to like cut 7 black girls, and I think he pretty much did. Did he keep any?
He kept one of the Jasmines.
I thought he kept obviously Rachel,
And Taylor, I guess.
Jasmine, and did he keep Dominique?
He might have kept Dominique, and he also kept fucking Bullring Jamie.
He
Whatever
did.
she is.
Yes.
Yes, she got like the last rose, and I was like, "What the actual fuck is that?" Like she got it.
That makes no sense. I feel like the producers are like, all right, one for you, one for us, and that's how they kind of trade
Yes.
off the first round. But
It
yeah,
would-
go
It
ahead.
would be something else if Nick just flips this entire thing on us and like Rachel makes the top 3 or 4 or 2. But I don't think it's going to happen. But that first impression rose, I couldn't really decide if that was an ABC thing or a Nick thing like Chief is saying, or if he actually liked her.
I think he might actually like her. He's like impressive. Like she's got her shit together. She's a lawyer. She does some kind of like special type of. I can't remember what type of law she is.
Yeah, like a specific fancy type of law. Also, I thought she was really pretty. Like she has like a gap in her teeth, which bothers me. But I always stare at teeth, so that's like a personal thing. But she like otherwise was great. And I also had a problem with the fact that she had a vacuum cleaner from like the 1920s. But
I don't remember.
whatever.
Yeah, no,
she can get a new one.
I think that she could go like the furthest of any black girl ever. Like she
Yeah,
could-
absolutely.
Yeah.
She maybe. What if she actually forget it? Vanessa's not the new Bachelorette. What if it's fucking Rachel?
I
the
don't
most
think Trump-
white
I don't
bread
think
black
Trump
girl
would
I've
let
ever
that
seen.
happen.
I don't know.
Oh God, I know. I don't.
know.
Maybe. But I still think it's gonna be Vanessa.
She was like really throwing out a lot of I am this impressive. Like I was blown away by how impressive she was. So that's
She
why
really-
I'm like almost like they were overcompensating, like really a lot. Like ABC is really not even being subtle anymore about their overcompensation for how many years now? 21 seasons of The Bachelor, and then like 14 seasons of The Bachelorette, where they've been getting lawsuits all over the place because of this.
They got sued for this?
Oh yeah, I think
Oh,
like
I never
twice.
knew that. I thought it was just like one big internet joke. Like,
No.
never fix any black people.
Disney has gotten sued like at least twice. I was reading about it because I was aggressively reading their Wikipedia page during that like hour-long Nick special on Sunday. I was going through because they said on TV or something, or I was with my friends in Raleigh and I was saying like there's no way that there have been only like there have only been this amount of seasons of The Bachelorette and there have been 21 of The Bachelor. But I forgot that for the first couple of years, they would do back-to-back Bachelor seasons, like spring and fall. Like they did one Bachelorette with Trista, and then they skipped, like they did Bachelor, and then started again like with all of the Bachelorettes. But they like skipped a bunch, and yeah, just like we're always in fucking trouble.
I never knew that they got sued. That's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe you're right.
I'll
Maybe
send you a link.
The Bachelorette, because like she could legitimately go far. Like that would not surprise me.
No, me either. I think that's right.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real.
All right, and then I like Whitney.
So many theories.
Yeah, I like Whitney too. I think Whitney's going to be.
Whitney
will be there in the end.
She's like crazy hot.
Yeah, she is like stunningly beautiful, like stunning. I wonder though. I really don't think that she like had much to say. So I'm anxious to see like.
Do you think
how
that
she
matters
is
for
like,
Nick?
in conversation and stuff? No, I don't think it does, but I think it will matter as far as like ratings. So I think like if she sucks, like they might not really focus on her, or they might like stir her up on purpose or like do something to make her like freak out. Or, you know, like we said earlier, best case scenario, she'll be the new Courtney R and then fuck all of these bitches' days.
That would be the best thing ever. Incredible. That would be That's my dream. I don't care who the new Courtney R is. It's just got to happen again. She was like Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan, where in their prime, where like people would be mentally broken just by having to go on like a group date with her.
It was so perfect, and they're not even still together. Like they broke up like almost immediately. Like she just was like, "I'm gonna go on here. I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna win." And then that was it.
Like,
and she did.
I remember this one scene. She was like, Ben and like some other blonde girl were like talking outside, and then she just decided to like take off her dress and go swimming in the pool.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And she would like sing and like talk loudly,
like,
doing the backstroke in the pool in like a little white bikini while they were like on a one-on-one date. But it was like right fucking there. So that's the type of like people that I need on this show.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up. But you guys have anything else before we sign off?
I was trying to think of other girls, but I think we hit on the most like it was like kind of like Kelly said. There's 30 girls, but those limousine entrances they skipped over a solid like 10 to 12 of them. Just didn't give them any camera time. So, but I think we covered the girls that they highlighted last night for sure.
Yeah, there were 30 girls, but there were like 8.
Yeah, but there were really only and he cut a bunch too. But no, I mean I think that we covered it all. I think we really I think those are the most interesting people. I am more excited now after this first episode than I was in the beginning. I thought this was going to be like hard to get through. I was like, we're really going to have to like pump ourselves up about this season because Nick sucks so much. Yeah. But now I think that they've gotten enough. I think ABC thought ahead and they've gotten enough of like crazy bitches in the mix to keep it interesting. So I'm excited.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be good. And like, I'm already like hating him because he's crying so much and whining and bitch, but I can hate watch the show, so that'll be good.
Same, perfect.
All right, guys. Well, Trent, hopefully you don't get lost on the way to work tomorrow.
I agree. I hope that does not happen.
This podcast out first thing Wednesday morning.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Wonderful. You too.